This is Harding Football with Coach Ronnie Huckeba.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Harding Football with Ronnie Huckeba. A 56-13 victory on Saturday for the Bisons over Southern Arkansas on a picturesque day at First Security Stadium. And, Coach, it started early with the fans. They were here early tailgating, and the Gaines Athletic Center lawn was full of Bison fans, and the Bisons did not disappoint on Saturday night.
The atmosphere was great, Billy, and our guys really appreciate it. Tailgating has become a huge part of the college football culture all across the United States. And you think about game day, and this past Saturday they were at Ole Miss in the Grove, and we are just so pleased with the way our fans have taken to that. And when you better get here early on a Saturday, or you're not going to have a place to park. There were comments made by our players after the game was over that night, comments on Twitter or other social media outlets of how appreciative they were, for the support that we got, and we are very thankful. Hope that continues. It's a lot of fun.
And I think a lot of it has to do with tradition. A lot of it has to do with the way your football team has played the last 3 years, and a lot of it had to do with the fact that it was Southern Arkansas in town, and the previous two games had been tremendous football games.
Barn burners. The one in 2012 down at El Dorado for the Boomtown Classic, those guys were so prepared for us. They pretty much blitzed us out of our offense. We played great on defense and special teams that day, or we would not have won. They held us to 147 total yards, if I'm not mistaken. And then last year we played on national TV down at their place. The atmosphere was great. I know our kids loved it, and it was a close game. That game turned on a few turnovers and breaks and that type of thing. So coming into this game, we knew we were playing a quality opponent. We knew they had talented athletes. We knew they were one of the best offenses in our conference. They were second in total offense coming into this game. We knew we had a challenge. Our defense has been dominant, and we knew that in order to play well in this football game, we were going to have to be really disciplined, and the game turned out great for the Bisons.
Bisons ran the record to 4-0 on the early season in front of a packed house at First Security Stadium, and we'll begin and look at the highlights after this.
To Maddie, congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow, I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money going to come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
All right, you ready for some baseball trivia?
Let's do it.
What year produced the most no-hit games in the big leagues?
7 no-hitters in 1990.
Wow, that's right. Now a question that's not trivial. How many children will witness bullying this year? The answer? 3 out of 4.
75%?
That's right. How many of them will say something?
Kids want to help, but don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov.
We welcome you back to Harding Football with Ronnie Huckeba. Glad to have you with us as we look back at the Bison's victory last week over Southern Arkansas. And Coach, your football team, the defense held early, and we get the football back, and the offense off to a good start.
We start off with a triple option. We get the ball kicked to Ahmad Scott, got great blocking out in front of him. We come back, and we run the midline and get a great opening there for Romo, and he takes it to the house. John Gay adds the extra point with a great snap and hold, and here we go.
Didn't waste time in getting Zach Shelley the football either.
Zach is averaging almost 20 yards a carry. He scored 5 touchdowns, and the thing that you don't notice about Zach is how well he is blocking along with the rest of our slots. We get the play action to Donatella, get the safety with his eyes wrong. Great throw by Keenan, great protection, and here we go, 14-0.
And off to the good start. You knew that Southern Arkansas would come back, but here's a big play, I thought, by your secondary.
That was a great play. In the red zone, as I said, these guys are really good on offense. A lot of weapons, a lot of speed, And, the key to stopping a team like that, you're not going to completely stop them. You got to play great in the red zone, and we did that on Saturday. We come back with a toss to Ahmad, great blocking again out in front of him. And, here we probably got a little bit too greedy. We went for a couple of passes that, based on the way they were playing, were probably not going to be open. But fortunately, our defense bailed us out with some, timely turnovers. This is Romus Robertson with the strip and the recovery. Romus is playing so well for us as one of our senior leaders on our defense.
And what a gritty run right here, because it looked like they had the angle on him right here, Coach, and he just would not be denied.
This is Romo with a 75-yard run. That was very timely. The score was 14-6 at the time, and this gave us a 21-6 lead and gave us a little bit of breathing room. Another great red zone stop by our defense. So proud of those guys for the way that they played on Saturday. This is awesome right here. This is tremendous block by both Eric Mitchell and Ahmad Scott with a toss play to Jason Aller. And that's what it takes to be able to get these guys in the open space.
Now we get to see a big dose of Alapeti Magale. And
right. If you watch that play, you can see the huge push that we got with our offensive line on that. I mean, we've got defensive linemen that are 7 or 8 yards off the ball when the play is over, and that's a tribute to those guys up front. This is a walk-in touchdown with Petty, and the blocking on that particular play was tremendous.
28-6 at this point. Bison's in front, but Southern Arkansas was not done. They would come back and make it 28-13. I thought this was a huge play before the half.
I think this was key play of the game. 20 seconds left. We liked what we saw out on the perimeter, ran the triple option, got it pitched to Zach, and he went 60-plus yards for a touchdown. And that was really, really a play that we felt like gave us control of the football game going in at halftime. We knew we were going to get the ball first coming back, so a great way to end the half.
Yeah, that pushed the Bisons up at the half 35-13, and I don't think that we can overemphasize just how big that play was. Do you feel like you caught Southern Arkansas resting a little bit right there? Did you feel like they felt like they had some momentum going into the halftime locker room? Because your team obviously wasn't settled to go to the locker room at that point.
Right, and the discussion on the sideline with offensive coaches was great, because we talked about should we go 2-minute O, get our trips group out there and see if we couldn't get the ball down the field. But based on what we were seeing as far as the way they were defending the triple out of a particular set, we thought, we can get a big play on this in our regular offense. We don't need to go to our trip set and work on our 2-minute offense. So we got what we wanted. We saw that the first play, and we got the ball kicked to Zach, and he had tremendous blocking at the second and third level of the defense, and took it to the house, and he's got the speed to do that.
So the Bisons at this point, 35-13 lead at the intermission. Felt good about things going into the halftime locker room. Stay with us. We'll come back and we'll look at second half highlights from the Bisons' victory on Saturday against Southern Arkansas.
Hey guys, thanks for coming.
Are we in trouble?
No, you're not in trouble. I just want to set some ground rules.
Like what?
Well, remember last week when you hit Vinny in the head with the shovel?
I do not recall that.
Of course not. Well, it was pretty graphic. Too graphic for the kids. So I'm going to have to block you.
I don't have my little form.
I got to make this up to you. This is Vinny's watch, and I want you to have it. You deserve it.
Thank you. That's really not necessary.
No. Come here.
We were drawn here from all 50 states and more than 50 different nations. We are 7,000 students of languages, arts, sciences, and life. As diverse as our origins and as different as our backgrounds are, it's remarkable how much we have in common here in this place of faith, learning, and living. Harding University.
Back on Harding football with Ronnie Huckeba. The Bisons up 35-13 at this point. As we get ready for the third quarter, your football team would get the football to begin the third quarter. They've been very successful all year long, Coach, in really being successful on that first drive of the second half.
Right. We deferred. which means that we chose to allow the other team the option in the first half. They chose to receive. We kicked. That means we're going to get it first in the second half. After that big play to end the second half for us, or the first half for us, that put us ahead 35-13. We knew that getting the ball first was going to be a great thing for us, and fortunately we took the ball right down the field, as you can see, and scored.
Jason Aller does such a great job blocking and able to punch one in running right there.
We were super happy for Jason. And here's Darius Lane, who played a tremendous football game for us, ripping the ball loose as Darius does over and over again. I tell you what, that guy is an awesome guy to watch play because he plays with such passion, and he really sparked our defense. This was a crucial third down that we converted by getting the ball to Donatello on the jump ball. Keenan put a lot of air under it and got it up there where he could get it. Now we come back, we run one of our double options and get the ball to him. And this is Petty breaking a few tackles, getting into the end zone. He is a great goal line runner. As you can see, he gets into the end zone there with good blocking from his lineman up front.
49-13 Bisons at this point.
A super job right here on the perimeter and by Park getting the ball kicked to Eric Simmons, who does a great job with the ball in space. And then Matt Tennyson, we run the zone dive and he gets the ball into the end zone with great blocking up front. And there's John again, who's perfect, 8 for 8 on the night. And that's our 56 points.
And the Bisons would win the football game 56-13, and the congratulations after the game, obviously right there. You mentioned John Gay, perfect. He's now perfect on the season, right. 28 for 28.
And that's something that coming into the season we were concerned about. We're replacing deep snapper, we're replacing Alex Finley, who's been our holder for 4 years. And Eric Stock has taken that job, and Eric has worked really, really hard on that. That's not as easy as it looks. Torrey Day is our short snapper. He snaps on all of our extra points and field goal attempts. So the fact that we're 28 out of 28 is a reflection of the hard work that those guys have put in. And fortunately for us, we hadn't had to kick many field goals. We're getting a lot of touchdowns.
Right, 28 for 28 on extra points for John Gay this season. And it seems like, Coach, every week we talk about something that is a first for this program, which is something that is a good thing. Right. 500 yards rushing. Only the third time that's happened in school history. Right. Happened on Saturday night.
And, based on the previous 2 games with Southern Arkansas in 2012 and 2013, you probably wouldn't have thought that. We did have a good game rushing the football against them last year, but we didn't convert some of those possessions that we had where we actually made yards, got in the red zone and fizzled out. So the fact that we were able to take those drives and convert them to touchdowns this year was super exciting for us as a coaching staff and as a team. When you convert all of your red zone opportunities into touchdowns, that's huge. That's what you got to do to continue to win.
It's more stats to look at. I thought it was crucial, 5 of 8 on third down, which I thought was very good. Right.
Possessing the football, these guys came into the football game with a very high time of possession. We pride ourselves on that. We're going to keep the ball away from our opponent. Those guys have done it as good or better than we had. And so the fact that we were able to convert those third downs keeps us on the field, keeps their offense off the field. It ended up being really close time of possession, but we thought that was a win for us, because we did possess the football in that ball game.
And when I talk to coaches, and one of the things that maybe frustrates them more than anything is when you get in the red zone and you don't take care of business. Your team did that on Saturday night. 4 opportunities in the red zone and able to capitalize all 4 times.
We believe that what we do offensively is real difficult to defend, all the way up and down the field. You watch football today and you see a lot of the teams that are very fast-paced and are always in the gun, and sometimes when they get in the red zone, they just don't have the ability to punch the ball in when they need to. And we think because of the way we play and the fact that you have to defend the entire field, even if we're on the 6-inch line, really makes what we do hard to stop. That's one reason we love what we do offensively so much.
And we mentioned the 500 yards on the ground, very impressive. Romero Westbrook was a huge part of that, 134 yards, 2 touchdowns on 10 carries. Right. He had 171 yards against Southern Arkansas last week. He has been named this week's GAC Offensive Player of the Week.
Very deserving. Romo has been such a special part of what we've been able to do here, both offensively and as a team. He works so hard in practice. He rarely ever makes a mistake. He's great with the ball in his hands. He's great in space. He's great after contact. He has tremendous balance. And I think the difference, last year he had 170 yards against these guys. This year he did what he did with 10 carries, 134 yards, 2 touchdowns. And another great thing about him is the way he approaches the game as far as giving credit where credit is due. He'll tell you, okay, the quarterback did a great job of reading the triple option. The offensive line blocked great up front. My slots and wide receivers blocked great at the third level of the defense. And then he did his part for sure. So very proud for him, very proud for our team.
The new rankings are out. We have a question about that from a fan when we come out of this next break, and I'll tell you where the Bisons are ranked in this week's poll after this timeout.
Be free. Nice, Dad. Nice, Dad. Nice.
Charles!
Nice, Dad.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of siblings in foster care who'll take you just as you are.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
We welcome you back to Harding Football with Ronnie Huckeba, and one of my fun times, I think, of the football game, and especially after victories, is going down to the locker room and have a chance to visit with some of your players and visit with you after the game. And we had a chance to visit with Jason Aller and Romus Roberson after the football game on Saturday night.
Definitely. Southern Arkansas is a team that we have a lot of respect for. They've played us tough the past 2 years, and just to come out and get a big win against that quality of an opponent, that's real big. That makes us feel real good moving forward. It was really fun. It's been that way. Blocking is always going to come first at our position. We're a very unselfish group, and we know that the carries come when they come. And so, but to get some touches and some space, definitely it felt good. It was a lot of fun.
What did it feel like?
I was talking to some of the other seniors on the team, just talking about how the atmosphere around Harding has changed so much in the past 4 years. The excitement around football has grown a crazy amount. It's really been a cool thing to see.
And one final thing.
To our coaches, they work so hard to put us in a position to be successful. Really, that's just a testament to our work ethic. Yeah, that's amazing. Wow.
Jason, it's going to be tough coming in because every year they play us really, really hard. But we're really, really confident in our preparation this past week, and I think we executed pretty well.
To come on,
staying with what Coach told us to do, we had a couple busts at the beginning, but we stayed with it. And we didn't let them score in the second half, and that's really big for us. We pride ourselves in how good our defense is.
And
it's really, really huge. We keep fresh people coming in each and every time, and we just kept getting after them, kept coming at them, and we got them.
And how important?
The last 2 weeks when we've been talking about coming home and playing in front of a big crowd, we're just happy we got our win. It was huge, especially with the crowd, because the crowds are getting better within the past couple of years. So we're just happy we got to play at home for sure. We love playing at home.
Roman. And I promise you, I would tell you the Bison's latest rankings after the break. They moved up one spot to number 14th now nationally. And, Coach, our question this week comes in from a fan and talking about the national rankings and how it affects your football team and how you look at the national rankings. And we'll have a chance to go and listen to that question right now.
Hi, my name is Isaac Alvarado, and I'm from Panama City, Panama. My question to you, Coach Huckeba, is as your team is winning so much and as they're growing together, and in their ratings and in their ability to win, will this affect their unity in any way? Will this affect the way that they work as a team?
I think that is a tremendous question. And that's a question that every successful athlete organization needs to continue to ask itself. Where are we on that maturity continuum? Are we arrogant with our success? Are we confident with our success? Are we humble with our success? And hopefully we're getting to a point as a football team we're mature enough to know that we are confident. We can get out there on Saturday and we can compete with the teams that are on our schedule. But we're humble in knowing that if we don't prepare, if we lose our culture, our work ethic, our accountability, our love for each other, our unselfishness, if we lose that, then we make ourselves extremely vulnerable. And so we are committed as a coaching staff, as a group of seniors, the other leaders on our team, and as an entire organization to continue to move towards that final stage, I believe, of your mindset on game day and your mindset within your organization. That is, we're confident, but we're humble. We know that we got to continue to do the things that have gotten us here, and I love this team because I believe in these guys, and that's the way they're thinking, and so that's what we're going to approach this week.
And it's not only the players that pay attention to the polls. Obviously, the media, the fans, right. Everyone gets excited about the national rankings, but your opponent also notices that you're number 14 in the nation, and we will see a good University of Arkansas at Monticello club coming up this week. Talk about the Boll Weevils.
Much improved, and the thing about UAM, and this has been true for a while, is these guys play really, really well at home. They haven't played as well on the road, and Coach Jackson has alluded to that, and that's been something that I'm sure that they're working on as a coaching staff, but that's not their situation this week. They're playing at home on homecoming. And so we've got to go down to their place, and we've got to expect to see a team that's going to play at their very best. They've competed with some of the top-level teams in our conference this year, even though their record, is not as good as they would like, I'm sure. They had shootouts with SEO and ECU both. They dominated Southwest Oklahoma a week ago on the at home, and that's it's a team that's very dangerous. They're much improved on defense, and I'm sure we'll have our hands full on Saturday with UAM.
And it's an afternoon game. We've already played one afternoon game, a 1 o'clock start time. This will be a 3 o'clock start time on Saturday.
And when you play an afternoon game, it is different. It's different from the night atmosphere. You got to get your mind right. You got if you're used to taking a nap every day at noon, and then you expect to be sleepy at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So you kind of got to change your entire approach. And it's not just something that you change on game day. You got to change it as you approach during the week. And so I know our guys will prepare well, and we'll go down there and play well against UAM.
All right, Coach. Have a great week. Always great to be with you, and we'll see you again next week.
Thanks, Billy.
That's all for this week's edition of Harding Football with Ronnie Huckeba. We'll see you next time.